Hello, I had to adjust my camera there. It fell down right as I turned it on. So this is Heather Ann, and I'm here to talk to you about anxiety because so many people have it, and I am actually completely cured of anxiety and panic attacks, and mine was bad. It was like really, really, really bad. Hard to go places, stressed all the time, full-blown panic attacks where I felt I was going to pass out, feel like you can't breathe. Even went to the ER with panic attacks. I'm going to tell you why. So around 2011, I got sick, and I was just feeling like these episodes where I would feel really shaky, and I would feel like I was going to pass out, and I would feel weak, and I had like weakness, and I was so afraid. You know, you start Googling, it's like lupus and cancer and all these awful things, and I went to doctors, and some told me it was in my head, and then some said, oh, you're just anxious. But I knew I wasn't anxious. I mean, everyone gets stressed, but I wasn't, it wasn't anxiety. They kept blowing off as anxiety. And I kept saying, no. So finally, my blood pressure got really low. And then my doctor said, I want you to monitor your blood pressure and get one of those home monitors. So I was monitoring it, and it would get really low, and then I found a doctor who thought it had something to do with my endocrine system because I have hypothyroidism, and she was like, there's something going on, this seems like. So I started Googling, and I found a doctor in Beverly Hills that's cost me a fortune because he was on insurance, and he's famous, Dr. Friedman. And so I went to him, and he said, oh, I think it's your adrenals, blah, blah. And he told me, he was running all these tests. So in the time that he was testing me, I got really, really sick, and my blood pressure dropped to 66/42. I almost collapsed, and I ended up in the hospital, and they found out that I was having an adrenal crisis. And so my cortisol was through the roof, which makes you anxious, and it can be deadly. And then my other adrenal hormones, aldosterone and renin, were non-existent, and aldosterone regulates your kidneys. So my salt was at fatal levels. I was going to die. They had me on heart monitors and all these monitors, and I was in a cardiac unit for 10 days, and I wasn't allowed to walk at all. Except for I could go to the bathroom. That was it. And that was like right by my bed. I was in a private room, and not because I'm fancy, but because of the state that I was in. And so when I got out of the hospital, I could barely walk because after 7 days, you lose this like huge percent of your muscle. And I was 10 days without walking until I could. And the first day I got up and walked down the hall, my legs buckled under me, and I almost didn't make it down the hall of the hospital. So I had small children. My daughter was 3, just turned 4, like a month before I was hospitalized. My son was 7. I was homeschooling them, and it was horrible. It was horrible. I had a tumor on my adrenal gland, and amazingly, these ladies came and prayed over me, and the tumor actually went away. They were going to operate, but they didn't have to because the tumor went away. However, everything else didn't. So, God gave me a healing of the big thing, but like the symptoms didn't completely go away. It wasn't like, you're healed, walk. The tumor went away, no surgery, but I still didn't, I still had a lot of stuff. I still had to take medicine, blah, blah. And then I found out in the hospital that the reason my adrenals shut down was because I was going to an acupuncturist, and he put me on some herbs, and he had me on really high doses of licorice. And licorice root can help your adrenal system if it's really small doses for a short time. But he put me on it for a long time, months and months and months, high doses. Licorice root destroys your adrenals. Do not take it for a long period of time. Be very careful with it, and make sure they know what they're doing, and make sure they don't put you on high doses. So when I got to the hospital, they freaked out about the licorice. When I showed them what I was taking, they looked at all my supplements, and they were like, ugh. So now I won't touch licorice root with a 10-foot pole because it terrifies me. And I'm on, it's been years and years of this, and I'm on medication for it. So that's my story of how I developed anxiety and panic attacks, and they were bad because I had been collapsing, and I had like some episodes from the sodium dropping where my hands like seized up, and I was like this, and I couldn't move. It was like a horror movie, like, I'm a monster. Couldn't move, couldn't bend my hands. And they thought I was like in my brain. They thought I was going to need brain surgery. It was horrible. So every doctor I saw, and there were a lot during that time, a lot of doctors during that time, every doctor said, here's some medication. They handed me anti-anxiety meds. The problem with those, they frequently cause anxiety. So you have anxiety, you're freaking out, and then they cause it. And then the other thing is they have a million side effects, and they can become addicting like heroin. So there's people in these groups online for support who are coming off of some of these medications, and they're like heroin addicts. They can't get off them, and they are a total addict. And so I said, I don't want that. I'm going to handle it naturally. And I'm not against medications, you know, if you need them. And I'm not going to judge you if you take anti-anxiety meds. But you need to know the risks, and you need to know what you're getting into with that. And is that what you want? So, it's getting darker. I had like the perfect light, and now all of a sudden it's like getting a little darker. So we're in the dark. We're going to be in the dark on my patio. You can hear my fountain in the background. Don't look too far back because I have weeds in I have my tropical garden. There's like weeds. And every time I pull them, they just sprout back up. Okay, so I said no medication. I told them, no, I'm not going to do it. And I read a book called Unstuck by a psychiatrist. I forgot his name. I'm not going to tell you his name. Just look up Unstuck. And it was all about dealing with anxiety naturally and how the medications are really bad for you. And, you know, he's a psychiatrist, and he only prescribes them in the worst case scenario. Like you're going to kill yourself, you know, that kind of thing. So I found a cognitive behavioral therapist who helped me kind of like apply logic to my anxiety. And I went and turned some patio lights on because it was getting too dark. Oh, it's still a little dark, but I'm just going to keep going. Hi, honey.
Hi.
That's my girl. Okay, so they kept giving me anxiety medication, and I knew it was going to be bad. I knew it was going to make me sick, so I just, I'm still kind of dark, huh? Can you see me now? Okay, so, wow, my hair is kind of glowing, though. It's kind of good for the hair. Little sparkles over here from the light behind me. So, I had this thought that it has to be in my body because I'm doing better now. I know I'm not going to die. I have medicine for my adrenals. I'm healing myself naturally, and I'm still having panic attacks. And I thought, this is not an appropriate response to what's actually happening. And your brain is an organ. Your emotions are controlled by your brains. They're affected by your hormones. That's why ladies get grouchy once a month sometimes, because hormones can affect your feelings. So I thought there's got to be something going on. There's got to be something that I can do more than just this counseling and meditation and stuff like that, which all help. That's all good. You need that. If you have anxiety, it's not going to be one thing. There is not one pill that is going to cure your anxiety. I'm going to tell you that right now. It doesn't exist. It might make you feel a little better for now, but you're going to have the side effects, and it's going to stop working, and blah, 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 blah. There is no magic cure. You need to do the work. You need to put in the time, and you need to be willing to do what it takes, whatever it has to take to get rid of it. And it's worth it, because I don't have it now. Okay, so I've got a little tough love with you on that. Like, you can't mess around. You can't be like, I have anxiety and panic attacks, and I can barely leave the house, but I'm just going to take this one little pill like Alice in Wonderland. No, it's not going to work. All right, so I did all that other stuff, which I'm going to talk about more in some other videos, and I'm also going to do some blogs about very specifics what I did. But I started reading about anxiety, and I found a bunch of things on PubMed, which is where they publish, medical studies. And they did so many studies on magnesium supplementation, and they found that magnesium over and over and over again was helping with anxiety, performing just as good as anti-anxiety meds, and it didn't have the side effects. The worst thing that can happen with too much magnesium is you have to go to the bathroom, because they use magnesium to clean you out for a colonoscopy. If you TMI, but that's what I'm talking about here. So if you have too much magnesium, you're going to go to the bathroom. Your tummy might hurt a little. So it's not toxic. It's not going to hurt you. And I read that magnesium can be low, but it can pool in your blood, but it's not being used by your cells. So you can take a blood test. Your magnesium looks okay, but it's actually deficient. And most people are deficient in magnesium because of our soil and our diet and on and on and on. So I started magnesium and I started getting better. I started feeling less panicky, but it wasn't 100% cured. And we're talking, this is like over the course of a few years that I healed my anxiety. And not months, not days, years, okay? And this was because I had to discover stuff on my own. So if you follow what I tell you to do, you know, maybe you'll be months or maybe 1 year. Maybe it won't take you as long as it took me. But so it took me a long time to study about different kinds, because when you go to the store and look at magnesium, there's going to be a bunch, like oxide, and there's magnesium. You know what? I can't even remember off the top of my head all the names. There's a bunch of them. But over time, I learned about one called magnesium chelated. Chelated is spelled C-H-E-L-A-T-E-D. The C-H is pronounced like a K, chelated. So chelated magnesium is the most bioavailable. And when I switched to chelated, wow, that made a huge difference. So just, you know, don't go through all that other kinds of magnesium. Don't buy the fancy ones that your friends are telling you. I buy chelated magnesium at Sprouts, and it's cheap. It's like a giant bottle for, I don't know, like $15. I'm batting away a little bug flying around me. I don't want you right now. I'm busy doing YouTube. Go away, bugs. We don't have a lot of bugs here, too. I live in Southern California, and not far from Disneyland, and we're not very buggy around here, but for some reason. Okay, so chelated magnesium. If you're not on magnesium and you have anxiety, if you don't believe me, look it up. Go to PubMed, look up magnesium and anxiety, and you'll see a whole bunch of studies. Get on magnesium now. I don't care if it's 2 o'clock in the morning, find the 24-hour store, go and get magnesium. If you have anxiety and you're not on magnesium, you're just, you know, you're just kind of jacking yourself over a little bit here. So get magnesium. The next thing you need to do is you need to cut. I have not eaten like a crappy diet. I'm not for years, because I have celiac and I've had stuff. So I eat healthy. But if you're eating a bunch of crap and you're drinking a bunch of caffeine, you need to cut down. I do drink coffee. I believe coffee is good for you. It's a precursor to glutathione, which is a very important. Glutathione is super important. You can look it up, but it's super important. So, and it has antioxidants, and you know, God gave us coffee, but you know, you don't drink gallons of it. And like, if you're drinking soda and you're eating fast food and everything, your body can't function. So if you have anxiety, you need to be thinking of this as a physical problem, that your body is sick. Your brain and your gut are not responding properly to stimuli. Your gut is the next thing that you have to do, because my gut was jacked up because of the hospitalization, having celiac already, having antibiotics because I kept getting respiratory problems, and it was like a cascade. And so my gut wasn't right. And I'm terrible with like facts and figures. Like I can tell you what happened around the 1840s or whatever, but if you ask me like the specific year, I'm not good at that. So my percentage might be off, but it's something like 80% of your serotonin is made in your gut. 80%. And all the like melatonin, serotonin, that's made in your gut. So if your gut doesn't work right, you know, if your gut doesn't work right, you don't need me to tell you all the gross stuff that happens when your gut doesn't work right. You got stomach aches, you got bloating, you have gas, you have, you know, bathroom problems, can't go too much. You have any of that, your gut is not healthy. That means your gut is not digesting your food properly, so you're not getting all the nutrients you need. And it means that your gut is not creating those vital things for not having anxiety, like serotonin. And so you have to heal your gut. So get on magnesium and start healing your gut. There's a lot of things you need to do to heal your gut, cleaning up your diet. I do smoothies with veggies and some berries and yogurt and stuff every day. But number one is probiotics. They are researching probiotics now, those little bacterias. There are a bunch of different kinds, and they act like organs in your body. There are probiotic bacterias in your microbiome that actually do specific jobs, and they act like an organ, and they actually make you function to survive. So if your gut is not healthy, wow, it really did get dark. Let me spin. Let's see, spin around. You can see me better now. I have some light. But now you just see the wall. You don't see my pretty backyard. Your microbiome is your friend, and you have to take care of it. So you need to supplement with good probiotics. I take Plexus, and I know some people are going to go, Plexus. Plexus is a multi-level marketing company. I don't sell it. I was going to because it's amazing, but I don't have time for that. People were asking me all kinds of questions like I was their doctor, and I was like, oh, I'm not going to sell Plexus. But if you want to know about it, you can message me, and I can. I'm signed up to sell it, but I don't sell it, and I don't want to sell it. I don't have time to go over and over and over all that stuff. But Plexus probiotics are the best ones I've ever found. I don't know why they don't just sell them in stores, but they don't. You have to order them through an ambassador. But Probio 5 and Vital Biome changed my life. However, I started healing my gut prior to taking those. So if you don't want to order Plexus because it's multi-level, or you just don't want to order blah, 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 I'm just swinging around here so you can see prettier stuff. You can get a probiotic at the store. Like go to Sprouts or go to, Whole Foods or whatever health foodie place you go and get good probiotics there. You need to eat probiotic foods. So you have got to start including yogurt and things like that. And if you can't have dairy, they make it out of all kinds of alternative milks. I eat Daisy cottage cheese and Daisy sour cream because those are cultured. They don't have a bunch of gums and junk in them to make them thick. They make them thick with probiotics. I take apple cider vinegar from Bragg's that is unpasteurized with the mother. It has this nasty slime in the bottom. It looks disgusting, but that's the probiotics. I tried kombucha, and it wasn't my friend. So kombucha tea, some people report miracles with it. It actually upset my stomach and gave me some problems. So I don't do kombucha anymore, and it's expensive. However, it's worth a try because some people have amazing things happen with it. There's sauerkraut that has probiotics if it's not pasteurized. There are pickles. There's lots of ways to get probiotics, and you need them, but you need to be supplementing too, because in your food, you're not going to get enough. So I'm going to tell you something about this crazy study. It's gross. Okay, you ready for something gross? It's about poop. Okay, so this lady was dying of C. diff. It's like a infection of the bowel, and a lot of elderly people die of it in hospitals. So she wasn't elderly. She was younger. She was heavy. She was overweight. No. She was skinny. She was skinny. Her daughter was overweight. And let me tell you why this matters. So they decided that they were going to try a very controversial procedure called fecal transplant. So they take poop from a healthy person. They put it inside your body in a capsule, and it transfers the probiotics from that person, and it saves lives. It's disgusting. It's gross. But let me tell you what happened. And they replicated this with mice and rats. So the daughter was overweight, and the mom was skinny. The mom had never had a weight problem. When they transplanted the daughter's fecal transplant, so gross. When they did the transplant to get her probiotics into the mom to save her life, the C. diff went away. It saved her life. The mom didn't die, and it saved her life. But she didn't change what she was eating, and all of a sudden she gained 40 pounds. So they were like, and they noticed that in mice too, when they had done this procedure on, mice and rats first. So they went and started looking at the microbiome of people with weight problems and people who are thin, and they found different bacteria. They found that there are bacteria in your microbiome that can make you gain weight. And there are bacteria that thin people have that overweight people don't have. So that's just like one story of why the bacteria in your body matters so stinking much. And why, if you have anxiety, you have to heal your gut, and you got to get all those little bacterias inside you, because if you don't, no matter how much counseling you do, no matter how much cognitive behavioral therapy, no matter how much meditation, all these things you do are helpful, but you're not going to get cured. You want to be cured. You don't want to manage this. I have met people at Disneyland in scooters with a little dog with them because their panic attacks are so bad that they can't handle walking around the park. And I was pretty bad. I mean, my panic attacks were bad. And, I wasn't far off from bringing a dog to the park. Actually, my dog would stress me out. Honestly, I love dogs, and I have very cute dogs. One of them is right there. Scouty! Here, I'll show you Scout. Scouty, there he is. I love him. Taking him to Disneyland would stress me out. But some people find comfort in that. And their anxiety is so bad they can't function. I mean, people have anxiety where they can't leave the house. You have got to heal your body and heal your gut. Do reading. Go into PubMed and look up probiotics and anxiety. Look up microbiome. Look up gut health and anxiety. Just start searching for those things. The reason I say PubMed is because it's not articles by some like shamalama, hippie person that tells you to go in the woods and eat grass. I'm a little bit of a shamalama hippie person myself in some ways, but it's hard to believe that stuff sometimes. You read, you're like some blogger or, some person is like, oh yeah, I went and ate grass for a week and like I hit nirvana. And so, with anxiety, it's mental and it's physical. So you don't want to have any doubts because you have to stick to this regimen. So go to PubMed because you'll see it. It's in the science. And why don't they tell you about this at the doctor's office? Well, because it's cheap. Because Big Pharma, the pharmaceutical companies want you to buy their medicine. They don't make money off of you taking cheap magnesium supplements from Sprouts. They make money off of giving you very expensive medications and big copays and insurance. So, natural remedies get pushed aside. That's just the bottom line. Follow the money. So that's a whole other thing. So, I'm here to tell you, okay, so this is the thing right now. I want to tell you something. Some of you with anxiety, I had somebody say like, oh, well, my anxiety is just, it's bad. That worked for you, but mine's really bad. Mine was bad. I thought I was going to collapse and die and my heart was going to stop while I was driving my babies around in my car. It was bad. Bad. I felt like I was losing my life. I felt like I was totally out of control, and I did not know how I was ever going to get my control back, and I really didn't know what I was going to do. And I was really afraid about my children. So, yeah, my anxiety was bad, and it is cured. I don't have it. Now, does that mean I get nervous sometimes? Sure. Do I get upset? Yes. Do I get mad at my kids and lose my temper because they keep throwing their dirty socks everywhere sometimes and won't pick them up? Yes. It doesn't make you, and it doesn't make you a better human being, right? Like, I have to do the work. I still have to do my prayer, and I read the Bible, and if you don't like the Bible, it's okay. You don't have to. Just, find your own path, but I still journal. I read self-help books all the time, and I just, I do a lot. But number one is I work on my health of my body, so that my brain can respond correctly to stimulant. I'm going to show you another dog. Come here, Keely. Come here. This is Keely right here. Wait, he's getting so close. I can't. There he is. That's my Portuguese water dog. He's my buddy. He's jumping around so you can't really. He's black. He has black fur. So, he just looks like a big shadow. It's actually, I have Peter Pan Shadow as my dog. There he is. Hello. He's just like a big ball of fur in the dark here. All right, so this is a long vlog here, but I'm rocking in my chair thingy now. It's a long one, but I'm hoping that you listen to me and do this because you know why I'm so passionate? Because I've had people like friends or people that I kind of know and they know a little bit about my story and I tell them what to do and they don't flip and do it. I have friends and I'm like, messaging me, I'm having a panic attack, Heather. It's really bad. And I know you understand. And I'm like, did you get the magnesium? No, I didn't. A month later, Heather, it's 2 o'clock in the morning. Are you awake? Because they know I stay up late. Heather, I'm having a panic attack. It's really bad. Did you get the magnesium? Oh, shoot, I forgot. Don't do that. Get it. Get on the probiotics and heal your gut and start healing your body and stop eating all that crap. Okay? All right, that's all for now. I'm going to go into this more. I'm going to do more about this because I don't want you to be unhappy and I don't want you to be sick and stressed and miserable. I want you to be happy. I want you to have a good life. And I want you to not be anxious. I have no buzzing feeling. I never get that. If I do get upset and stressed, I don't get that like nerve shot frayed, like, kind of feeling. I don't. I don't. I can stay calm, a lot calmer. My kids are probably saying, no, she gets mad at us for, but that's because they don't listen. You know, I tell them like 5 times to take out the garbage, and then they wonder why I get upset later. That's kids for you. All right, so do it. Do what I say. Just do those 2 things right now. And then later we're going to talk about chemicals, because all this chemical stuff that's in our food and our water, there's no precedent in human history for that amount of chemical onslaught on the human body. And it's contributing to your anxiety too. All right, I'm going to sign off for now because I talked for a really long time. And then I'm going to give you your assignment to go get chelated magnesium. Go get some probiotics. If you want to order Plexus, like I said, I really don't like to sell it and whatever, but I do still have an account, so you could order it through me. I mean, I don't know anything, but I don't really have a lot of time, so I could even give you a friend, you know, or just find someone. Just go on Plexus, find someone. I don't care. I don't care. Honestly, I don't want to make any money off this. I really don't. Like, I just want to help people because, you know, anxiety is miserable. All right, goodbye now. Bye. Go to the store. Get the magnesium. Go get it. And take it every day. Okay, bye.